Washington has dropped the mask. Donald Trump is now openly threatening land strikes under the banner of a so-called war on drugs, pushing the United States from maritime intimidation to outright aggression. As international law collapses under American boots, Russia is calling it exactly what it is: imperial hypocrisy.
Knocked out 96% of the drugs coming in by water, and now we're starting by land. And we're not going to let people kill 300,000 people a year with drugs. The country's not going to put up with it. I don't want to say that, but it's not only land strikes on Venezuela, it's land strikes on horrible people that are bringing in drugs and killing our people.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov has blasted Washington's double standards, questioning how the US can lecture the world on legality while seizing tankers, killing crews, and threatening sovereign states without trials or mandates. Moscow says the drug excuse is nothing more than a cover for regime change warfare.
As far as maritime security is concerned, this is a serious problem. The United States is now actively promoting its policy, which is that it has the right to destroy, as they say, ships that transport drugs without any trial, without investigation. The United States has information that, as you know, they have destroyed several such boats and boats. Yesterday, they landed on the deck of a tanker, accusing Venezuela of transporting oil that is forbidden to be sold. There is too little information, because I do not know how the United States considers the Venezuelan situation, apart from the fact that President Trump publicly said that he demanded a regime change or a voluntary resignation. But Chevron is working in Venezuela, buying Venezuelan oil. What illegal amounts of this type of fuel, this type of hydrocarbons were on, this tanker must be somehow sorted out. And I really hope that the United States, despite the fact that it considers itself entitled to carry out such operations, will somehow explain from respect to other members of the world community on the basis of what facts they take such actions. And of course, we are in favor of discussions on how to deal with drug trafficking, on how to ensure maritime security being collective.
Caracas is not backing down. President Nicolás Maduro has declared Venezuela will never bow to Trump's threats, warning that any land strike will be met with resistance. Framing the standoff as a fight against colonial aggression, Maduro says the era of US domination in Latin America is over.
The supremacists who govern the United States want a war in South America, a new Vietnam, a new Iraq. But with God's favor, it will not be war, it will be peace.
Trump's rhetoric follows months of US naval operations, sanctions, and tanker seizures, actions Russia calls piracy, disguised as enforcement. Lavrov has highlighted the glaring contradiction. Washington blocks Venezuelan oil with one hand while quietly buying it through corporate loopholes with the other.
This constitutes a flagrant violation of international law, an act of piracy, an imposition of force to appropriate resources that do not belong to them.
Moscow warns that unilateral US military action risks turning Latin America into a new flashpoint of global instability. Russian officials stress that ignoring sovereignty and international law will only accelerate confrontation, destabilize the region, and undermine any remaining global security architecture.
We are in favor of collective discussions on maritime security. Unilateral actions undermine international law and collective security norms.
As Trump threatens land war and Maduro prepares to resist, Russia has drawn a clear line. Coercion is not law, piracy is not justice, and threats will not replace diplomacy. The question now is how far Washington is willing to go before the consequences spiral beyond control.
President Putin told me to convey his unwavering support. Russia supports Venezuela's sovereignty and the peace of the entire South American region.